For decades, people with hearing loss have been told the same thing. Once those delicate cells in your inner ear are damaged, they're gone forever. Hearing aids can help. Cochlear implants can bypass the problem. But actually reversing hearing loss, that's been out of reach. Until now. Scientists may have finally cracked the code. Around the world, research teams are uncovering a way to regrow the nerves and sensory cells inside the ear, using stem cells, the body's own raw materials for repair. It's not science fiction anymore. Real clinical trials are already underway, and for the first time, researchers are watching patients regain what was once thought to be lost forever: their hearing. In this video, we'll break down how this breakthrough works, how close it really is to becoming reality, and what it could mean for millions of people who've lived in silence for far too long. Inside every healthy ear is a small miracle of biology. Tiny hair-like cells called stereocilia sit deep in the cochlea, translating vibrations from sound into electrical signals for the brain. But here's the catch. These cells are fragile. Loud noise, aging, infections, or certain medications can destroy them. And unlike skin or blood cells, they don't grow back. Once damaged, the link between the ear and the brain weakens, leading to sensorineural hearing loss, the most common and irreversible form. For years, the only solution was technology: hearing aids or cochlear implants, designed to amplify or bypass the damage, not fix it. Scientists have long dreamed of doing something nature never learned to do: make the ear regenerate itself. That dream might finally be coming true through stem cell therapy. Stem cells are special because they can transform into nearly any type of cell in the body. In theory, that means they could become the hair cells and nerve cells needed for hearing. Researchers have already figured out how to coax stem cells in the lab to form otic lineages, the same kinds of cells found in the inner ear. Studies from teams in the UK, China, and the US have shown these lab-grown cells can survive, mature, and even respond to sound stimuli when placed in animal models. In one remarkable experiment, researchers from a 2018 study published in Stem Cell Research and Therapy successfully transplanted human stem cell-derived ear cells into the inner ear of mice. These cells didn't just survive, they actually formed new connections with the animal's existing hearing nerves. It was a powerful proof of concept that regrowing the inner ear might truly be possible. The most exciting part? These findings are no longer just happening in petri dishes. A first-in-human clinical trial is now underway, testing a treatment called Rincel-1 in adults who already have cochlear implants. The goal isn't to replace the implant, but to stimulate nerve regrowth around it, strengthening the connection between the device and the brain. Early preclinical results suggested that injected stem cells can release growth factors that encourage nerve fiber regeneration, potentially restoring some natural hearing ability. While results from this human trial are still pending, it represents a huge milestone, the moment stem cell therapy officially moves from theory to the clinic. So, how exactly could stem cells bring back hearing? Think of the cochlea as a piano that's gone out of tune because some keys are broken. Traditional devices help you hear by turning up the volume. They don't fix the keys. Stem cells, however, could repair the keys themselves. Here's how the process works. It all starts with stem cells, which are like the body's master repair cells. Scientists can take these cells, either from embryos or safely reprogrammed adult cells, and guide them to become ear-specific cells, the kind needed for hearing. Next comes the delivery. These new cells are carefully placed into the inner ear through delicate microsurgery or carried on tiny, biodegradable materials that dissolve once the cells are in place. Once there, the cells begin to settle and connect. They release natural growth signals that help them attach to damaged areas and reach out to surviving nerve cells. Then comes the exciting part: regeneration. Over time, these cells mature into the tiny hair cells and nerve fibers that the ear needs to send sound signals back to the brain. It's a remarkable process, almost like rewiring the ear from the inside out and giving the body a second chance to hear naturally. As promising as this is, Researchers are quick to stress that we're still in the early stages. Regrowing hearing isn't as simple as planting new cells. One big hurdle is cell survival. The inner ear is tiny and sensitive, and not all transplanted cells make it long enough to connect. Scientists are working on improving the microenvironment, using special gels or carriers to help the cells settle and thrive. Another major challenge is the immune response. The ear has its own immune system, and foreign cells can trigger inflammation or rejection. A 2025 systematic review by Kreber examined the best ways to manage this, identifying medications like cyclosporin and certain steroids that can help the body accept new cells safely. There's also the question of precision. Placing cells in such a delicate structure requires advanced imaging and microsurgical techniques, tools that are only just becoming accurate enough for human trials. Despite these challenges, the field is moving fast. Each year brings new improvements in stem cell survival, differentiation, and delivery. To put it in perspective, just a few decades ago, cochlear implants were considered science fiction. Today, they've given the gift of sound to hundreds of thousands of people around the world. Now, stem cell therapy may be the next big leap, not just restoring artificial hearing, but helping the ear regrow its own natural hearing cells. In fact, a 2024 study published in Scientific Reports by Dr. Lee and colleagues described new ways to stimulate the cochlear nerve, the vital link between the ear and the brain. Their findings suggest that even in adults, these nerve fibers can regrow when given the right biological signals. And that's the true promise of regenerative medicine. It doesn't just treat disease, it helps the body repair and renew itself from within. If current clinical trials are successful, the next big step will be expanding these treatments to people with early-stage hearing loss, and possibly even preventing total deafness in the future. Imagine a world where hearing loss from aging or years of noise exposure could be reversed with a simple outpatient injection. It may sound futuristic, but that's exactly where researchers believe this science is headed. And the impact could go far beyond hearing. The same stem cell technology could open doors for restoring vision, repairing spinal cord injuries, and even treating neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Because all of them share one key principle: helping the body regrow its own cells instead of relying on machines to replace them. Of course, experts remind us to stay patient. As of 2025, no stem cell-based hearing therapy has full FDA approval yet. But for the first time, the clinical evidence is catching up with decades of hope. And that's what makes this moment so extraordinary. So, how do people feel about this? A recent study published in Regenerative Medicine in 2024 asked both audiologists and their patients in Australia about stem cell therapy for hearing loss. The response was overwhelmingly hopeful. Most said they'd be open to trying it once it's proven safe, and many described it as the next evolution after cochlear implants, a step closer to truly natural hearing. Doctors share that optimism, but are careful to stress the need for solid evidence and long-term studies. They know how life-changing this could be, especially for older adults who struggle with isolation, memory decline, and safety issues tied to hearing loss. Even the World Health Organization has recognized regenerative hearing research as a global priority. Hearing loss already affects 1 in 5 people over 60, and solutions that could restore hearing rather than just manage it would have an enormous impact on quality of life worldwide. For patients and families living with hearing loss, this research represents something rare, not hype, but genuine hope backed by science. For decades, hearing loss meant living in silence, with technology as the only lifeline. But now, science is beginning to change that story. Stem cell research is showing that the ear's delicate structures may not be permanently lost after all. With the right conditions, they can grow back. It's still early, and there's more work to be done before these therapies reach hospitals and clinics. But make no mistake, this is a turning point. For the first time, researchers aren't just finding ways to help people hear better, they're finding ways to restore hearing naturally. If this science continues to advance, Millions could one day experience the sound of laughter, conversation, and music again. Not through a machine, but through their own body's power to heal. And if you'd like to keep learning, check out our video, 12 Purple Foods to Prevent Cancer. It's a fascinating look at how everyday foods can help protect and strengthen your body from within. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. And if you'd like to support our work, you can tap the Super Thanks button or check out our merch. Every bit of support helps us keep creating meaningful content. Thanks for watching, and here's to your health and your hearing.